Hey, hey, hey. How are you guys today? It is still October 7th. So I made it before we got into the double digits this month. Um, September flew by. There was nothing left. That's all she wrote. So, yeah, it's been difficult to kind of keep up with all of the things that happen. And this usually typically happens for me. Like September's kind of the month where things blow up. And then October is usually I get job offers in October for some reason. And weird things happen that are to the positive and more like a transition, right? In 2006, October 17th, my son passed away. But by that time, it was I was ready for him to go. I mean, he was in a lot of pain, a lot of suffering. So that's not where I was going with this, but the point is that big things happen in October. It's one of my favorite months. I love the weather. I love the prospect of change and things that are happening. Tonight we're sticking with water because again I need a clear head and I'm already super tired. This month we had, last month actually, we had the transitioning of the youngest kid going back to school for Deer Valley School District. And so, really quickly, online learning in the way that it had to be done in such a parachute emergency situation crashed and burned at my house. And that's okay. I mean, it went well for a first run at it, right? But two, in the second instance, it was such an uncertainty. Like there was no clear, like it was a moving target. Things kept changing and happening. That I think the teachers were frustrated, the kids were frustrated. There was a lot of frustrated parents. I don't know. The Facebook groups got a little lively and intense. I just kept scrolling the feeds, just reading. I tried not to comment because coming from again higher education, online, being a product of online learning and all that stuff. Like I told my oldest, she's in 12 years old in 7th grade, and I said, if I can get a master's degree and a bachelor's degree online, you can finish elementary school. And I left it up to her at that point if she wanted to stay online or if she wanted to go back physically to school. And one of the things that became very clear was we have to, in our next rotation of this, figure out how to address the social and emotional needs of the kids. It's a lot to put on parents. Not that it's fair or unfair, right? They're your kids, right? You handle it. But too, and it's difficult for teachers. You really, like, my mom used to run a daycare out of our house when I was little. And so, everything from a 6-month-old baby to like 10, 12-year-olds, right? And so I was just the oldest and I was usually making the lunches, right? Dealing out the snacks and everything. And then during the summer when school was out, we had to, we played school, we played teacher, the closer we got to the school year restarting. And I was the one giving spelling tests and doing all the, teachery things because I was just a nerd, a total nerd. And I was fine with it. It was all good. But I think that watching this last situation play out, it really exposed, learning proficiencies and then challenges. One of the things that was difficult, and that even in community colleges that they have difficulty with, is students have to kind of navigate a bunch of content and a bunch of requirements from different individual instructors. And so Sophia was just in tears, having meltdowns, right? I don't know what link to click and I don't know what they're talking about. And then so it just became a situation where I had to sit with her and, and just be a little bit more methodical and then When you don't know, send the teacher an email. And the teachers were great. They were really great about responding. They sent a lot of, nag notes, right, when she wasn't turning in homework. And that, I loved it. I wanted those nag notes to just pile up, right? Sophia's not turning in her homework. She missed an assignment. I'm like, come on, let's bring him. And so she she was mad at me for that. But then we had to talk through, she's listening, we had to talk through what the solution was going to be. And she was a growing moment for her, and I'm very proud of her. She handled it well, and I'm not just saying that because she's listening in the next room. Nothing. Go ahead. But she did really well, and so the teachers, gave her feedback, and she saw the opening and the opportunity to redeem the situation. Turning in assignments late. Oh, that's never happened to me before. But it worked out, and she did good. But she's really excited to go back. They did a staggered return to school, and so my youngest is already there. You should have seen her face on the first day. It was priceless. It was better than Disneyland. It was better than all the other things. And so my oldest is going back too. In the tween time, we've gotten them into dance class, the younger one, and then the older one, they're both doing piano. I'm hoping to squeeze in some guitar, so we need to get the arts going, right? And get that right brain, left brain stuff happening. So that's good. Kids are doing okay. What's coming up, too, is the big October gathering, the event that we usually have in my neighborhood. Every year since I've moved in, it was 2014, I've had the October costume gathering right in front of my house. So it's out in the street. It's an outdoor thing. It's not in my house. I can't have that many people walking through my place. But we used to do it in Tempe, and it was just a blast. Like everybody just shows up, and there's music, and usually there's food. This year, with the whole CDC requirements and stuff, we are going to be looking at that. So I really have hesitated about thinking about serving any kind of food. Usually it's a potluck, right? And so that can't not doing that this year. If I'm getting quotes for catering or any kind of sealed container, sealed foods, and then usually we do like hay rides. Things like that. So the hay rides are going to be very closely monitored. We're talking about actually scanning for people's temperatures and writing it on a wristband, and then letting people know that they have to socially distance on the trailer. I'm not kidding. So I'm not going down for this one. I want to keep people safe. I want to keep people happy, but too, I'm not going to be that guy that ends up kind of having to deal with legal issues, right? Because of a comedy of events or precautions that weren't taken. So we're still kind of working out the kinks, but we are doing a lot of virtual things as well. So we have a page set up for people that want to, if you don't feel safe and you think it's a bad idea, but you still want to kind of peek and know what's going on and participate, we have a Facebook page going for it, and we're going to do the judging for the costumes. Usually literally we had people number off in line. I've had up to 65, 75 people in a line on my street. One year we had Maricopa County Sheriff's Office sheriffs drive by, and they stopped for a second, and they kind of helped us judge. It was awkward, but they had fun. So this year we're going to be doing an online contest, and then we'll do an in-person contest. So there's 2 ways to win. And we usually have gift cards and stuff that people can win. Local coffee shop. Amped donated one last year. Good neighbor Keith Walashek and his wife. They're going to be donating, I guess, coffee this year. So that's good. And then all kinds of other cool stuff happening. I don't want to give it all away, right? But scavenger hunt might be a thing, right? We've got, I could look at, I even have notes. See, we did notes. There's we plan, we do things. Let's see, what else we're going to do. Pumpkin carving or painting, we're looking at that. Socially distanced tables. Looking at doing some, a marshmallow toss relay where everybody has to get farther and farther and farther apart. Possibly a candy zip line, throwing candy, but candy gun launcher. Like, I've got all kinds of ideas. We're going to see which ones pan out, and to know more, you're going to have to watch the live. One of the advices and guidance was that not to have any haunted house experiences, right, where people are in enclosed spaces. So my good friends, my good neighbors, Reshma and Kieran, they did an awesome setup last year, and like that was their passion. They were just so good at it, and it was like the talk of the neighborhood, right? So it took us into 2020, and so this year I don't think that they're gonna be able to do it. I'm trying to encourage people the week before to post like scary videos or things that they make up themselves, right? So ghost stories, things like that, goofy stuff. One year I had a party for the kids, and it was a camping theme. I actually put a full tent inside my house. This was for a party that fall in October, and I had a neighbor come over in a gorilla suit, and so I was telling a ghost story to the kids, and then I had my friend, my neighbor Jennifer, come in, and she scared them, and they all ran like cockroaches. It was the best. Flipped all the lights on. Kids are screaming everywhere. It was like 12 kids. I hadn't told my husband upstairs. He came down and looked on his face. He was like, what the hell? So, yeah, I do weird stuff. Life is short, man. You got to entertain yourself and hopefully make other people laugh as well. So I'm excited. I want to keep doing those things because, you know, it's what brings joy to people, right? And I get a kick out of it too. So I'm not a huge prankster because I usually screw up the pranks. I'm better at getting pranked, but I'm good at revenge pranking. So yeah, just ask some people. Okay, moving on. What else do I got this month? So we had some other life changes. My mother-in-law moved in. She's needing some extra help, and that's good. We're here for her. She's not able to live alone anymore, so we're working on selling her house. And she had, trust me when I say, for one person, she had a lot of stuff. She had more dishes than 3 restaurants combined. Not even kidding. I mean, beautiful stuff. It was crystal and silver and china, things that, we all used in a past life, but now I think it's just not the style. It's not how things are done. Nobody has a china hutch that I know of anymore. So it killed me, but I had to give a lot of it to Goodwill. I did keep some of it for myself, which she was very gracious about and said, here, please, I want you to have it. So today we went through shoes. I think, a couple weeks ago we went through her jewelry. So she's been, kind of getting ready for that transition. And it's a lot to think about, and it's a lot to, kind of prepare the kids for. My mom's passing was such a shock that, we didn't have time to think of anything. So it was just, a jolt. And so this is at least a situation where, there's time to have some more experiences left. And that's what I want to do, is make some of that kind of happen. In the meantime, the business of handling the business is, like throw another shrimp on the Barbie. It's, one more one more thing. This month, last 14, 15 years, we've gone to Lake Havasu every October too. The Jet Ski World Finals is something that we have a lot of friends that are involved in, and this year, like, I've gotta stay home. I think gotta help Grandma. So I know it means a lot to her. It means a lot to my daughters, who don't have a lot of family they get to interact with normally for lots of reasons. Read the book, and moving forward, I think that it's demonstrating to them too how you handle people, how you treat and care for each other. That was always something that I think my own family didn't handle well. So, break the cycle, fix the curse, all that stuff. And not all the time, and there were good moments, but over the climate of the situation, the overall, it kind of crashed and burned. So I just want them to be able to know that they've got to look out for each other. It's a big world, and life ain't fair, So, and I think they get that, and that's good moving forward. So I did pass my last class, but not without a lot of drama and extra effort for my master's. I got 4 more classes, so cheer me on. I got 4 more classes, but I pulled a B+ out of my arse, and I'm just glad it's done. Like, right? So June 2021 is my completion date, my graduation date. So I'm really looking forward to that. What else is happening? God, all kinds of stuff. Oh, I got myself into something else, which is fun. We're talking about doing some stuff to the backyard. One of them is getting a pool, because obviously this year there were no vacations. Didn't go to California. Didn't go anywhere. There were no water parks. There were no pretty much anything outside of your house, right? And all I have is a spa, and I'm not going to boil myself in 109-degree water and 120-degree heat. so yeah, I'm looking at refinancing right now, like everybody, the rest of the nation, right? Trying to take advantage of those low interest rates, and looking at trying to put in a lap pool or something, because if anybody who knows me, the backyard is stuffed to the gills. It's just it's already full, but it's comfortable, and it's fun to hang out in at times. So looking forward to that, like really 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 looking forward to that. And then I think some of the other stuff just projects that I've been wanting to get to, right? I had to clean out my guest room, and I have found just a treasure trove of art projects and scrapbooking projects and things that I've been meaning to get to over the years. So in putting it all together, I've gotten a lot of things done that I hadn't had time for, and my God, I have to say that this whole COVID thing, while it has been tragic, and I mean, I've lost people and friends that I've known, and there's obviously the president's and his wife are infected too. It's a real deal. It's not it's not a hoax. But the thing is that if this hadn't happened, I mean, there's always a silver lining. There's always a blessing inside of things if you can find it, right? I see that if I was still trying to work a 9-to-5 job driving, I mean, I was losing 2.5 hours a day in commuting, right? And driving, doing nothing with my time. I would try to, have meetings over the phone and do things like that, but even that got to be too much. So, without this COVID thing happening and creating like this seismic shift in how people think about working remotely or being virtual, oh my God, I couldn't do what I'm doing now. I couldn't be here for my kids. I couldn't take them to their appointments. Like I literally was missing out on their life. So I am, right now I'm still a little out of shape, and like I've had pneumonia several times over my lifetime, and I think if I got COVID, I'd be done. And I will make no bones about it, right? But the point is, I'm here and I get to do all the things that I've been wanting to do. I feel like I'm getting away with something, right? Like it's just the ideal setup, and I really enjoy the way. If I could turn this camera around, and at some point I will, I'll show you I've got my desk finally the way that I want it, and I've got the nice big computer set up, and I've got my monitor overhead. Like it's like an Operation Space Center. I love it. And I couldn't do those things before. I couldn't even take the time it takes to, pull all the cables and hook it all up again, because I had to run from the next thing to the next thing to the next thing. And so that's not living. It's not. I mean, I don't know, I'm incredibly grateful and thankful that things have progressed the way that they have, and that, I feel like I'm finally getting to take advantage and enjoy life a little more, So I'm just very thankful. One of the things that I got myself into, which I mentioned before, is I had told you I was going to write a book, right? I found that I needed some motivation, not just motivation, but also some kind of just a help, right? To give yourself structure. And I mean, I can be disciplined, but I'm also as I won't say lazy, but it's very difficult when you don't have focus, and when you've got your focus is kind of fractured. It's just water, folks, I swear. When your focus is fractured over a lot of things, you tend to have difficulty pulling the passion into your passion projects. You know what I mean? So I mean, count it a gift to be able to make that push and inject what you need to get those things done that you've been putting off for years. And so I posted a link earlier on Facebook called the 9 Dots. It is actually a contest, a writing contest through Cambridge University, and I think I'm going to go for it. So November is the NaNoWriMo month, and so I think that's just perfect time for me to put together a book proposal and get it submitted and see what they say. So please cheer me on, hit me up. I want to be able to get through this. Going through the military, I watched so many people take care of each other, the whole airman concept, right? And when someone was having trouble running, which was always the thing, right? Like running that 1.5 miles, 2 miles sucks. And so, people would run alongside you and they would, continually encourage you, you got this, you got this. And you think you're observing it if you're not in the right frame of mind, if you haven't been there, if you haven't been running and felt yourself just wanting to flop and fail and give up, then you don't really appreciate it until you've had someone come up alongside you and start running and start, trying to motivate you, kick your butt into doing it. So, anybody that, wants to say, hey, I see you, I would say thank you. So, I'm looking forward to it. There's a lot of growth to be had. It's always in the process. You just have to find it. It's never easy. It comes as a byproduct of the digging and the mining and the hard work to find the nuggets, right? So, anyways, I'm getting tired. I am totally rambling. There's a heck of a lot more stuff going on that I can't even think to talk about right now. But just want to say that if you're still on my friends list, thank you. I appreciate you. Love you very much, and have a good night. Cheers.